Cool, thank you. All right. Coming at you on Saturday, November 14th, I am Mrs. Sherman, aka Maestro Pants, joined by my husband and co-coach and partner in life, Peter Sturman Wilson, aka Arya Deva, and a huge shout out to Hansifer, Cam, who is recording this for us, and we will throw it up on the YouTube channel later. So we have a game with our current Hilliard Cybercats, and things have changed on the Rift since last we've been with you guys. There's been a huge, we're in preseason now, right, Peter, or off season,
Yep,
or
preseason.
oh yeah, there's been a lot of changes, so you can lay those down for us.
Yeah, so I don't know how many of them I can cover, but I will say that this is the most change that League of Legends has seen in my memory, and I've been playing this game for 5+ years, so it is massively different. The items completely overhauled, a third of them completely new, a third of them changed, and only a third remaining, and a lot of those got tuning updates. So the items are an incredibly important part of the game. It's going to be very, very different. We are going to be playing Marysville today, Marysville High School's junior varsity team. So looking forward to see how we deal with these item changes.
Yeah, and also I need that potato chip in the support role on Marysville's side. That's a great name, so nicely done. Also want to give a shout out to Mr. Williams, one of the other Hilliard Esports advisors. I was talking to him earlier this week. We have some exciting things in the works for Hilliard Esports, and he said that he likes to watch these. And even though he doesn't know a lot about League, it's still fun. He still enjoys watching it, and he said it's fun to listen in and hear the cast and watch the students. So thank you, Mr. Williams, for your support. Here is a shout out to you and to all of you guys watching, especially if you don't know what League is or much about it. We try to make it fun, and if you ever have any questions, please feel free to leave the appropriate comments in our comment section on YouTube, and we'll try to get back to you, or feel free to reach out to us over here in Hilliard Esports.
All right, so looking at what has come out so far, we have the Tristana being locked in and the Olaf being locked in on the blue side. So the Tristana, a very bursty champion, and one that in the bottom lane you can say, where'd my health bar go? It's a very common thing to happen with her. But on the other side, we see the Aphelios and the Zyra coming in. So Zyra is one of the champions that benefited quite a bit from that item update that we talked about. She does a lot of damage, so maybe we'll match that burst that the Tristana can bring, especially after level 6. And we have the Cho'Gath and the Olaf going for that scary match up in the top lane and jungle, I am assuming, with Cho'Gath and Olaf respectively, where the Cho'Gath can set up with a knockup for the Olaf to just run them down. So we will see how that goes. And the Echo getting locked in, I'm assuming that is going to be going into Asp Noob's hands. Let's see what these next bans are.
Yeah, and you see the Aphelios also brought out for Hilliard on the red side, and that's a champ that Gorf really likes to play. He has a lot of different stuff. There's different guns and this that do different
one of the
things.
most complicated champions in League of Legends, to be sure. When he came out, people joked that you had to read a novel, which was his champion page, before playing him. And it's very much true. He has a lot of different mechanics because he can switch between 5 different guns that all have different abilities and interactions with an offhand. So a lot of combinations.
Sorry about that, Peter. Didn't mean to interrupt you there. Looking back to the bans, you see that the red side, the beginning bans were just all very, very targeted. Like all 3 of those champs are champs that our students have popped off before. And
looks like we had a disconnect.
Spice. Yes, that's okay. You know what?
Internet
This
went
happens.
out. It happens.
Yep, the players are all playing from the safety of their own homes, and that's what happens sometimes. So his internet cried itself to sleep. Undone Zodia coming out with an LOL on there. So
yeah, this is always one of those moments when, as a player, you're like, wait, what did we ban? What did we pick? And you hope that you can remember it for the next time that you get into lobby.
Yeah.
But we can still talk about what those bans were because they are quite interesting. So, if you are a League of Legends player that has been in the ranked life for a while, you might know about the Taric Yi funnel strat, one of the most annoying things you can possibly see in League of Legends, where Taric makes Yi invulnerable and he pretty much just kills your entire team. And that's a strat that the other team on the blue side had been running. So that's why we saw the Yi ban coming out.
Mm,
The Pyke ban at Potato Chip, who is a Pyke main. Match history just full of Pyke. And we did see the Swain and the Fiora bans coming out as respect bans to Bubble Puppy and an actual bird.
yeah.
So definitely good bans all around, trying to make sure that everyone is not going up against those matchups that they do not
Um,
want to see on the Rift.
Very important to also note as we are here spectating off of Hansifer's client again. Huge shout out to him for helping us out and being in the right place at the right time. Appreciate the bread lovers and the baguette lovers clubs that he's a part of, in addition to our very own Hilliard. So we're bringing the carbs, and that's great. Uh, Also pointing out that curly-headed Boo and Potato Chip have the same icon in the bot lane. Still, that's dedication. I've never asked the students to do that before.
That's true. Maybe it was just natural synergy, like they didn't plan it and it just came out of nowhere, and they're like, "Oh, we
Yeah.
should bot lane together." It might be a match made in
You're
Icon
just
Heaven.
playing along and you find someone with a similar icon
It's
and
like,
you think,
"Oh,
you're my type of
are
person.
you also at this high school? I
You
guess we'll
are
join the team."
a man of culture, as they say online. Um, yeah.
Yep. So,
And oh, okay.
as we are kind of here, we can, talk a little bit more about those matchups that we were seeing in game. I know we aren't going to have them in our faces, so a little bit harder to discuss, but the Aphelios you talked about, he really is an interesting champion in the way that he can synergize with different supports. So with him having the Zyra in that bottom lane, those of you who have played against Zyra knows that her root can set her up for a burst combo very easily, and Aphelios with his many guns and combinations can either prolong that CC or do a lot of burst himself. So definitely a scary combination down there. We'll see how that matches up against the Tristana and the unknown support. Looks like we have a
It's like
5 more minutes
have
warning.
5 more minute
You
call.
never know with the internet. It's definitely better to have the
Pick a
kids safe
foe.
in their own home here, and we are then subject to whatever technical difficulties.
Tell
So
okay, guys, be nice. Good sportsmanship. I mean, this is again outside of their control. I wonder if we should offer up a 4v, or I hate to just take the forfeit. I know we've been really kind of starved for some competitive play, just schedule wise. I know the students are
you
craving
never
it.
you never know with the internet. It can be the type of thing where spectrum's like you're DC'd for 2 minutes. It can be the type of thing where a tree falls on a line and then who knows, right? So
I know what we can do in this time.
what can we do?
We can put Hansper on the spot even more, and we can ask him about what it's like to be in the Hilliard Esports Club as an alum now. And
Well, Hansifer just sent me a message saying he would BRB, so
oh, just kidding.
we might not get
Shucks.
much of a response for the time being. I think he's taking this moment to know that he has a minute to step away from his computer, but no big deal there.
Hansper,
We
don't
can
say
ask
anything if it was a wonderful experience and you're so glad you were part of it.
Mrs. Sturman, what has it
There we
been
go.
like to be part of the esports club?
Oh, I mean, I love it. Uh I know, at least especially with League, we started like pretty humble origins. I knew a couple students came, and like 5 or 6 years ago it was, and probably 5 years ago, that we started it at Derby, just a League of Legends club. And then after 2 years there, it grew to be the entire district, like the 3 high schools. It was the League of Legends club. And then last year, Hilliard Esports started officially as a club, and Mr. Nagy came and said, "Hey, I know that you're involved with League. Are you interested in getting in on this?" And I was like, absolutely. And so it's really blossomed, and I love that we have support from the district, and the students are excited, and especially with COVID and things like that going on. Again, people stay safe out there. Um, it's really nice that there's this way for the students to come down and have, or come together and have community, even from their own homes and play competitively for the district while still being safe. So yeah,
Absolutely.
love it.
And I can speak from my own experience also being a part of it from the ground up. It was really one of those circumstances where organic growth met opportunity, right? Where we had this thing that was already being started by the students, and then the administration was right there to support us as soon as it started growing. So I think that's fantastic. And I can definitely say that I wish I had had this type of thing when I was in high school, and I am glad to be a part of it now from the outside. So, um, we oh, they're just reordering. Sorry, I saw that a couple people were not in the team slot anymore after the person had reconnected, but no, they are just reordering into LCS order to make sure that is all clear, and we should be
Um,
good to get
well,
back into lobby.
I guess it's actually not even top to bottom, it's like top to support, but yeah. No, it's been great, and we're actually looking to maybe get started in the middle school level, not so much competitively, but just with clubs and things like that, and talking to some other teachers. So very, very exciting. Stay tuned for that Hilliard Esports update. And now we are back into it, and this will go a little faster because they all know who they're banning and who they're picking.
Yep, and just for some clarity, there is a client bug where we're seeing that Aphelios, Zyra, and Echo are already quote-unquote locked in. That is not actually there. That's just a bug in the client. So still
Okay,
the same order of
interesting.
operations as normal. The bans first, and then we'll get those picks coming out. First on the blue side, then two on the red. Just didn't want anyone to be confused. So again, we see those same bans coming out. The two bans we didn't talk about last time while they're finishing up their picks here, the Pike and
Mm-hmm.
the Zoe.
Yone.
So
Oh,
Aspanoob,
about the Zoe
well
a little
known
bit.
for his Zoe, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, oh, I did talk about the Pike already. Sorry, I don't know if I misspoke, but the Yone is one of those champions that
Yep.
he is one of the newer champions in League of Legends, and as we well know, the newer champions tend to be quite strong. Um, and it looks like we do have a different pick coming out. They had picked Olaf last time. So I don't know if that's going to be
You
something
know,
that we're going to
let
worry
it.
about. We'll
I'll
probably
let
let
it
it slide for
slide.
the sake of continuing
Getting
on
it
with the
going.
game. Probably something that the students are talking about right now since they are waiting on that Echo pick for a while. But
Yeah. Are they
looks like
messaging?
we're getting a message right now. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. I'll just hop down there and tell them it's okay. We're okay with it, y'all.
I'm going to just fill space here while she is doing that. So she's just checking with the students if they are okay with that being the case. Like we said, not the type of thing you want to see, but that is the player that disconnected, the jungler. So he might not have heard that we needed the same picks and the same bans. So that's probably why that mistake happened.
Righty, and I'm back.
Are they okay with it?
They are actually, they said, they're like, but this is actually a better matchup for our jungler, Groovin Peruvian, so they're fine with it.
You
They
know,
said,
I was just actually telling the future audience here that that is the member that disconnected, so he was not present when they said same picks, same band. So while you might
oh, yeah,
assume that that would be true, he did not explicitly hear it. So I'm guessing where
yeah.
that's where that mistake came from.
And
No
again,
worries.
if some of these, I know some of the players on Marysville side don't have, they haven't played quite as many games, which is completely fine. We love to welcome all levels here. Uh, that is like an assumed thing, but if you haven't played a ton, you maybe don't know that, and that's
Absolutely.
okay. And especially because we hadn't shown our jungler yet, it's not a big deal. It's not like he's trying to counterpick who we picked.
Right.
So.
Right.
All right, we
And
got a couple more bands. Oh, Evelyn, it's like they know Hansfer is the one showing, helping us with the stream. Evelyn also got a really cool music video. Riot Game releasing some fun music over the past couple weeks.
yep, very true. They do a great job with all of that content, putting it out, and it looks like an actual bird just made the joke banning for Cam question mark because Evelyn
Ah.
is the Cam special. So and we do have the Teemo coming in from Bubble Puppy in that top
Teemo and
lane.
Yumi, very annoying champions.
Yes, more annoying champions locked in for sure. And the Kane coming out, I believe that is Groovin Peruvian's highest mastery champion, as we had mentioned
Nice.
last or on Monday, I think. So the team comps fleshed out here. So the Tristana Yumi combination
Oh,
does help her burst quite a bit. So not from
yeah.
the perspective of Yumi doing a ton of damage, but the way Yumi works, she attaches to the champion and then can
Mm-hmm.
lock people in place after level 6. So the main thing Tristana worries about after she jumps in is either getting CC'd and dying or the enemy getting away. So if you're in an advantageous position with that lockdown from the Yumi, you can basically just one shot someone. So we'll see how that goes. And it looks like we have the Cho'Gath going into the middle lane after that Jax was locked in, not the top lane, like I had said in that first champ select iteration. So,
Olaf, it
uh,
changes it up a little bit
yep,
too with
yeah, might
that.
change it up with the matchup. Might just be the Cho going mid. It is a less common role for him, but a place he can go. And maybe into the Echo, who's more of an assassin. They want that tankiness there. So could have been
Unknown
a
Zodi
flex
is a
pick as well.
cool summoner name. Would be a
Yeah,
cool band name, I feel like. Now with the Yumi and the Triss, when Triss jumps, if Yumi is on her, she goes with, right?
absolutely. And that's
So
what sets up
that's
that combo that we talked about.
yeah, so that's I mean, why haven't we ever done that? That's pretty OP, you know? That's just great maneuverability. I mean, also even I feel like Yumi Ez would have been nice, you know, on all these mobile. I know as a support, all these mobile ADCs, you know, when there's fear of ganks and stuff, Peter would always be like, "Remember, I'm mobile and you're
Yeah,
not." So, you know, if you
that's
can
very
hop
true.
on and enjoy the ride, it's always really nice.
Right. So
Um,
Yumi Ezreal is actually one of the most common pro play combinations for the Yumi pick
mm-hmm.
for that exact reason. One
Yep,
of the things that you often see in lane on Yumi is that the lane is actually nerfed pretty heavily because as an immobile ADC champion, you're basically opting into a 1v2. So
yep,
you do have those abilities Yumi can add. You do have her popping off to get the autos, but it's not the same as having another full health champion in that lane to help you absorb the pressure, put on auto attacks constantly, and everything a support would normally do in the early lane.
that's true.
So you're
That's
right.
true.
With a
Give and take.
champion like Ezreal, that's why the pros have sussed it out, right? It's the type of thing where he can be safe in lane, he can get done what he needs to do and get to the point of scaling where then in the mid game you have a Yumi, right? You have the
Yep.
heals dancing around to all your players, you have the lockdown, and
Yeah, and
everything
say
that
that
people
ult is
find so
huge in
annoying.
team fights.
Yep.
That's just
Yep.
especially with the Triss being able to weave in and out of the back line and the front line. What does the Cho Echo match up?
So
That's because, like you said,
one of
Cho doesn't
the
normally go mid.
reasons, yeah, one of the reasons that I was saying that might have been a flex pick is when Asp Noob had locked in that Echo after the Cho'Gath, they might have said that maybe we want a tankier person in that middle lane to go up against the Echo, somebody that can not get assassinated as easily, because that's basically Echo's job, right? He's there to blow somebody up, he's there to get out, and that's what his ultimate is very good at. So
Yep.
if he's against somebody like the Cho'Gath, that might be able to mitigate that risk for the mid laner long enough for them to be able to scale up. We also have to keep in mind those changes that we were talking about earlier, and tanks are, I will lovingly say, incredibly broken right now. The itemization has made tanks very, very, very strong. So that does give advantage in some respects just to the draft of the blue side because they have two very tanky members. Cho'Gath notorious for getting tons of health, becoming an unstoppable menace that can just literally face tank the entire team. Volibear, the guy that wants to run at them, sped up by the Yumi and get that dangerous engage off like bears do.
And with Cho'Gath, you know, that's even more objective control with the Nom Nom.
Yep,
Um,
he literally goes om nom 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 in game when he uses his ultimate.
yes,
That is
and
his
not to
voice line.
mention the cool color palette from Marysville side. So
That
we'll
is
have to
true.
see. We had
They have the
spectator delay.
synergy.
Now we're
Yep.
yeah trying to get in and see how skin matches up. But
They have the
uh,
synergy on the base models. Let's hope that they don't do something disastrous and pick a warm colored skin here because you don't want
yeah,
to nerf yourself in the champ loading screen like that.
that yeah that's true. Let's see what they did.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
know. Godstaff Jacks.
yeah.
I can't really say that They nailed that one, but, to each their own. Maybe they just want some flavor, it's like, maybe it would've been a little bit too bland, so they're adding the spice into
Let
the
us
pot color.
also appreciate how cool that Zyra skin is.
Yep, that is one of the Prestige Edition skins, one of the ones that you have to play quite a bit for, and it kind of is a badge of that grind,
Yeah, that's
so
super cool.
yep. There's for the Prestige Edition skins a normal version, so there's the Coven Zyra skin, and then the Coven Zyra Prestige Edition skin. So rocking that from an actual bird, and
Mhm.
I do like the overall Skinergy from Hilliard. Good job, guys. Of course, Timo just kind of doing his own thing a little
But
bit. He
that's so
still
Teemo,
matches
and I
the
think the
yeah,
Teemo versus the Jax, that's gonna be an attractive lane of there. I
exactly.
mean, and we can also appreciate Little Devil Teemo. I mean, how appropriate he is such an annoying champ to play against. We were just playing against him about a week ago in some flex games with the students, and oh, I mean, when you get into those late game mushrooms that are dropped somewhere, it can really just set up the battle. So yeah, luckily he is on Hilliard's side. We are loading in here to the Rift.
Yep, and talking about how annoying that can be, one of the best aspects of that is objective control. And Cam showing, or sorry, Hansifer showing off here
Mhm.
that he has it programmed into his observer client that he can zoom out further than the average observer. So I know he
I
went
can see
through
my house
some.
from here.
Exactly. He can zoom all the way out so we can see the entire rift if he wants to play around with that at some point for the memes. But right now, just giving us a bird's eye view so we can see the setup going on here.
An
Level
actual
one,
bird's eye view.
an actual bird's eye view.
Yes.
And just standard stuff so far, guarding the jungle entrances safely, not wanting any shenanigans just yet. We do have unguarded bottom side of the jungle from the blue side, but nothing happening from the red side, so it won't really mean
Yeah.
much. Um, it's one of those things that, especially with the preseason right now, games are incredibly snowbally, so maybe a little
Yeah,
bit
you got to be
more
a little bit
risk
more
adverse
cautious.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of it is just people playing a little bit looser because they don't know what's going on. Part of it is just not knowing those spikes, where
Mhm.
if you run into somebody that has an item you are not familiar with, you're like, maybe I can take you.
Yeah,
But
I mean, there are times where League really is a game of inches in some way. Like, people can escape with slivers of health, and it's happened to us all on both sides of it if you play enough. And, you do not, if you don't know your limits, then that's a really dangerous thing. So yeah, a little bit of caution is not bad. We got some nice starts here. Junglers doing their jungle thing.
and one of the main changes that we want to talk about at first, we have some trading actually.
Yeah, in mid
A
lane,
little bit, just a little
a
bit.
little bit of
Uh,
dominance control, seeing who's top dog here.
One of
All
those
right.
main changes we want to talk about is in the jungle. You actually only buy a starting jungle item now. So you used to have an entire set of jungle items that you would upgrade throughout the game until you got to your first major item spike on a jungler, and then you could build normal items. But now you just buy that starting item, you smite 5 times, and then it permanently gives you a different smite, and you can build normal items.
Interesting.
So
That's really
very different.
interesting. Huh. They should make a volleyball skin for Pike called like Spike Pike.
Or volley bear.
And then volley, yes, we do. Oh,
Oh,
oh, Echo, Stylen, careful, run away, run away, run away, run away. Yep, run. Oh, okay. Well, it's a trade back, but first blood goes over to Echo on the 1v1 under turret. And it looks like Teemo is flashing to get that Jax. Flashed, answered back. Valley Bear going to help his teammate. So a little bit of, aggressive behavior top lane, saying, get out of my lane, this is mine. But yeah, mid lane, the dance goes to Echo, and then the jungler trades back the kill. But again, first blood to Hilliard. Oh, nice root coming in from the Zyra. And again, scaring the bot lane off the CS. It looked like was Ignite also pop.
yeah, Ignite was also popped there. There's a new icon for the Grievous Wounds that comes off of it, that little golden heart to the side. So,
Gotcha.
again, another change that is unfamiliar for this current new patch. Some nice trades going on in general. We did see in the top lane that flash for flash, and we see some trading here again, maybe an all-in.
and forth, blinded by the light. Oh, that was a nice stun on Jax's part. Bubble Puppy trying to get under the safety of the turret, but overstepping Dr. Kurtz, picking up that kill, and taking back some time in this. Yes, well, it looks like we have a gank here. Undone Zodia getting maybe cut out a little bit as Green comes down in. Volibear is coming into the side, only make it in time. Oh, there we go. Talking about the sliver of health. I mean, that's not quite a sliver. It's more like what I would call like a sliver, of
Maybe a
pie.
little slice instead of
Yeah,
a
like a little
sliver.
slice. You pretend it's a sliver, but it's a little bit more than a sliver. But not bad. Again, getting him out of lane. And Grim Peruvian debating an invade
Maybe
into
just
the
going
jungle.
for a invade or a gang path. Kayn is one of those slippery champions that can go all over. And yeah, great solo kill from Dr. Kurds in the top lane. You know, Teemo's still going to be able to do Teemo things, even if he gets a little behind in lane, so no worries there. But we do see the Dark Seal coming out on a couple different champions, the Teemo and the Echo. Again, one of those items that was changed and buffed pretty significantly in this patch. Gets more AP now and no mana, so
We
very, very good item.
can appreciate. Oh, looks like we have a little more dancing in the mid lane. Alright, just taking the time. Kane coming in around here for the repeat gank. Just again scaring him off. Kane getting the damage, but he should be able to make it under turret safely. But the minion difference is where we're really going to see some stuff pick up, and especially bot lane. You notice that even though there haven't been any kills down there, the pressure has really been in the favor of Hilliard Esports. Now a return gank. Kane is not left. He's coming back as they see the volley bear, not volleyball. All right, and it's a 2v1, but this is not looking good for Hilliard as the damage comes out. And
Oh my
but
goodness.
will he make it? Oh my gosh, feels bad. Who was it who thumbs up? Was that Volley Bear? Yeah. We didn't
Volibear has had
die.
a couple thumbs up now. It's
I
fine, but
know. Oh, maybe he's just a thumbs up kind of guy. He's being nice about it. It's all good, and he can be nice as he does get the kill. Okay. Okay, this is thumbs up worthy if he got that 2v1. But he did get that kill on Asp Noob. So that's a lot of early damage for Volibear. Is that a new thing, or is that just kind of how he
that's just kind of
is?
how the bear rolls.
Okay.
Yep, he's a good early game duelist.
Ugh.
A little bit greedy from the Hilliard side to go back in, but it was a nice setup beforehand, and it looked like
Yeah.
that 2v2 was not going to go well, and they pulled it off quite well before going back in. So great job there. And again,
And
like we
Echo
were saying,
getting those. Oh, sorry. We got careful there, but again, the respect. You gotta be careful. A little too far up, and Ignite taking down, but not gonna make it. Asknoob hungry for these kills, and both deaths have gone to him in the mid lane, but also both kills too. So, and now he is under turret. He wants it. He's hungry. Okay.
oh, he didn't have time to press his alt. So he
Feels
was trying
bad.
to get the execute and alt right after. It was again one of those thin margins.
Yeah.
So a few things that we want to touch on there. So when we saw the Kayn initially coming in for that gank, on Kayn, you want to keep in mind that you're not always going for the kill when you're ganking. He gets orbs that allow him to stack towards his form by going to either melee or ranged champions. And since he's running the Conqueror, he wants to get those hits on the melee champions like Cho'Gath. So that's why he was chasing so far, why he even went under turret for one extra turret shot to get so many hits on the Cho'Gath before the
Yep.
2v2 started. And then, like you said, in that top lane, this is one of the things where as the Teemo now, you want to be really careful not letting that snowball pick up anymore. Maybe a gank here in
because
the bot
Jax
lane,
can be
though.
terrifying. We have Volibear took the Scuttle, got that vision in bot, and now is waiting it out. Bot lane playing a little bit more cautiously, especially when they see what's happening top lane. Oh, careful, actual bird. This is one of those scary times where you don't want to face check the brush. Huntsiver showing us that, but
the tear in my eye for how happy I am might even freeze because of how beautiful that freeze was, because they mitigated that gank beautifully, and we have some action here.
yeah, it looks like another death in the mid lane. Oh man, this Volibear now is getting pretty big, and with the top lane too, we have kind of. I feel like we're watching the same thing. Now that being said, with all of this action mid and top, Hilliard still has a gold lead. We cannot underestimate the importance of farming, and it can put Marysville in a position where they feel like they have an upper hand because you look at the kill numbers, but that kill is not just from gold. You get gold from lots of things. So again, you got to look at the pressure, like you were talking about with freezing and using that to not only control where junglers go, but also how your CS opponent. I mean, you got 40 CS up in that bot lane. That's insane. That is wonderful. So Drake does go down to blue side, and it looks like Bob Puppy's like, hey, this is still my turret. You don't get a ton of plates.
Yep, not a ton of plates there. Also very good from the Kane to recognize that Drake was going down, that he couldn't do anything about it, so he
Yep.
traded the objective, so he can either use that to accelerate the lead in the mid or the bot lane, or he could use it to get some gold back on Teemo to kind of mitigate the damage down there. But we do also see that where the... Oh, we might have a kill.
I'm definitely going in the favor of Asp Noob in that mid lane. Got the thumbs up from the volley pair again.
That's just
You know
how
what?
we
Maybe
do.
he's just trying to do a thumb war, and no one's answering him back,
That's
and he's
true.
getting
That's true. He's just
discouraged.
constantly challenging people to fun wars in the emote battle, and no, there are no takers.
Yeah.
But important to always note when you have these gold differentials where the gold goes. So
Yep.
on the Jax, it is very, very scary for Hilliard because they,
Yes.
other than Asp Noob, don't really have anyone that is a split pusher that might even be able to answer him. And with the lead that the Jax has right now, the Echo's not going to be at the point when the game gets into that mid-game state where he's going to be able to answer. So we might even have a dive here because
Say,
Volibear can turn off that turret. So this is
and
very
Bubble
dangerous.
Puppy low on mana,
Well, the
but he
counter
popped
gank
a
though, maybe.
potion. Kane's here though, so he
They're
can come and
killing.
help his laner. Let's see how this goes. You gotta go a little. Okay, yeah. So that actually was pretty clean. Maybe something that as soon as Vision fell on Volibear should have gone down there. Zyra ult coming in, and that is on the bot lane. Yumi ulting late. And the bot lane getting out clean. Kane now coming for a little bit of cleanup, but getting stunned there and having to be forced to flash. Not the best. You gotta be careful. This jungler and top lane is where their
Yeah, he
gold
needs to
lies right
leave here.
now.
They're going to dive him if he stays.
And he's going to die under the dive. They're just like the thumbs up crew. It's cool. It's cool. Bubble Puppy coming on back. That very nice play in the bot lane again. That's where they have significant leads as he's almost breaking into 100 CS.
Yep, huge lead in the bottom lane, and that is the burst we were talking about from the Zyra. She was the one that did the majority of that damage after she rooted and ulted. So
Support wins lane, ADC wins games.
we're gonna kind of see the bot side of the map versus the top side of the map as this mid game starts to develop with the leads that have been created.
Ask Noob pretty far down, the Volibear coming here, but he's a slippery character, so we'll see. He should be fine. Yep.
And Kane should be getting fairly close to his form at this point. He's been a part of quite a few ganks.
What's with the scuttle? Is that new?
Yeah, so the scuttle now has a shield. Oh my gosh, that he
Good
deleted
job, guys. And we're back to the scuttle fight. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, but it looks
we are
like
back to the fight. It looks like they have won the fight, and that's a cute icon right there. You know,
that's pretty cute. I love that one.
We
I
have
had that
a
one. Looks like we're into our
skirmish
first
here.
big team fight. Got a TP going on in. The Trist is in base. And actual bird getting caught out on the blue side. Might need to dive. And then leaving the Gorp to also get, like we said, that Jax. That is huge. You do not want him to get big, but he is, and so this blue is gonna probably go over to the way of blue side. Jax finding Groovin Peruvian, but Afterbird coming around. I think, yeah, he should have maybe gone the other way.
Yeah,
because
so
he's this
the Jax had that ward right there.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a nice ward. Yep, thank you. You're right. Hansifer, helping out.
So we do want to look at those meaningful new items here and see that the Jax already has his mythic item completed, which is typically going to be the first item you're building on the champions now. It scales with other legendary items you complete after it, and it's a huge power spike when you get it. So he has his Trinity Force already completed. And that makes him very, very strong. So when he TP'd down, that's the type of thing where you don't know as Hilliard, like, how strong is he right now? But when he has that mythic and nobody on the other team already does, it's going to be very hard to fight.
Yeah, and the blue team has taken gold lead now. Not a ton, but a bit. And this is the point where they were okay with the Volibear pick. We can't renege on that. Just because it's not going away now. They can absolutely play around this and win. There are just a couple of mistakes that they're not being maybe as cautious, conscientious about that they can fix and
Oh, the
still turn
plating
this around.
fell. The plating fell right before that charge.
Hashtag feels bad, man.
It does. And we also have to keep in mind what we were talking about with the tanks as well. So the Volibear getting a lot of that gold funneled onto him is also going to make him a beefy boy. So, and good highlighting on the control ward up there, making sure that
Yeah.
Jax is safe to split push. But man, this middle lane
Ass
still.
noob wanting this kill again. Back to the slice of health going down, and scaring him out of lane there. I mean, he is a fair amount of CS up above that
Oh
Cho'Gath.
no. Might have a gank here from the bear.
The bear.
The bear.
And we might have a gang up top too between Kane and Teemo, but I don't know if we want this even. The Jax might not be. I mean, he might be able to 1v. Probably not 1v3 though. We have Echo coming in here as well. Meanwhile, bot lane, the damage is coming down. Oh wow, and he doesn't even care about that. But can he get this?
My
Yes, the
goodness.
shutdown on Volibear. Yes, that is huge. That needs to happen. And the shutdown on Jax. Boom! And just like that, gold swings hugely in the favor of Hilliard. Those two members with the huge shutdowns are killed. And that's what I was talking about too. If we weren't being cautious enough in the beginning, then Marysville there was a little bit too aggressive and overstepped. So even though it felt like they had a smooth command of the map, they weren't that far ahead in gold. You gotta be careful with numbers advantages.
Man.
1v2ing, 1v3ing. Gotta be careful.
What an excellent job from Hilliard to capitalize on both sides of the map simultaneously, recognizing their opportunity. And that wasn't even a numbers advantage in the bottom lane. They just outplayed them. And that is one of those things on the Zyra where you need to respect her ult damage.
Oh,
you
she's
need
brutal.
to respect the plants that come out and get enraged by that ultimate, because if you say, I'm a tanky bear, I can stand here, you don't have a lot of magic resist yet, right?
Yep.
You are not at that point in the game where you can just not even care about that champion, because in the early game she can destroy you.
Good flash on the Bubble Puppy. Just because we got that shutdown doesn't mean that that's not a 5-1 Jax with 107 CS. So might want to throw over that now Aphelios has a 500 gold shutdown. Good for him. And yeah, when I don't permaban Blitz, which I basically do all the time because I've Blitz PTSD from my first rank game or people game. But I remember there were a couple times when I would ban Zyra. She's terrifying with her root, and then just her ult is so intense. She can really, really change the dynamic of lane because she can do as much damage as an EDC sometimes.
And we have to shout out again the amount of damage the Aphelios did as well in that fight. He had a good gun combination, and an actual bird is standing on a ward here. But he had a good combination, but for those new item changes, he built the Immortal Shield Bow, which is one of the 3 mythics you can go on ADC and makes you tankier and get lots of lifesteal. So I don't know if you saw at the end of that skirmish, he healed a ton before he went down and actually survived through the Volibear burst to go back and get that shutdown on him. And that was due to him having that mythic item. So these changes really making a big impact, where if you didn't have that first item on an ADC before, that Aphelios would have gone down.
Yep. All right. Now, Drake control definitely in the hands of blue side, but ooh, ass move, nice splash out of there, and then this fight is going down 3v3 under the turret. I think blue side's gonna want to back out of that, and I agree they should. And now that gold has swung again back in the favor of red, this next Drake is probably going to be a lot more contested as they get closer to Soul. We will want to stop that.
Yep, it is that third Drake, the classic contest point to stop the Soul from being within soon reach.
Teemo getting that down, that's a big thing for Bubble Puppy's mental. He doesn't like having his top turret down when the other one's down, but he's not going to get out in time. He's not going to. They see him, they got him. He's going to die. Yep. Ouchie, ouchie, stun death.
Oh,
and that goes over to Jax.
Sad puppy face for sure.
Yeah, sad Bubble Puppy face. Yeah, and that's just one of those times. Maybe he should have gone behind to try to back.
Hard to predict, because then
I know, because then sometimes it's I mean, I normally run far, far away because I'm just always afraid of getting caught out in a back. But yeah, it's hard to say. And he did get that top turret down. And he's now on a ward. Haha, we see you. Okay. As they set up vision for this next Drake.
And we do have that mythic item coming out from the Zyra as well now, the Leandri's Anguish, a rework of an item that there was previously. She does even more damage than she did when that skirmish was going on. So the Drake looks like it's going to be a big fight. Echo needs to get down here. He does have that TP, but
yeah, and dropping
Herald,
the Rift Herald mid to give some extra pressure there with that.
Yep.
It's a good choice.
You can see Volibear going to answer that. They might be able to just burn this.
Yeah, let's go, boys. Let's go. Clearing out the vision to make sure that they have full control of what they can see. Yeah, Cho'Gath can jump in. We have Trish jumping in. Oh, and blue team has stolen it. Good for them. Nice stun getting rooted down there. And this is the fight's definitely going in the way of Hilliard. And Jack's trying to flash out. He'll probably be safe. But Kane's like, wait, I can go through walls. Haha, haha. Wait, no, he's not there. He's over here. He's okay. Well, whatever. So the objective gets stolen by blue side. That was a nice steal on their part. Again, Cho'Gath makes it really easy to steal. But the fight overall going in the way. Oh, you don't want this. That's a scary, scary, scary Jax. You want to run away.
Yep,
and mid lane going down. Now that so many members of the blue side are down, we can push in through that mid lane.
Yep, Gorf definitely feeling like he is a strong ADC there, and he is a strong ADC, but that is a very strong Jax. So
yep, Jax.
So no matter the items, running up to a scary Jax is always going to be a thing that gives ADCs nightmares.
Yep.
So looking at the game state now, they did get that soul point. So even though the gold swung further in Hilliard's favor, they do need to worry about giving that objective up. Now, it is a Cloud Soul, so not the favorited soul by many people, but probably undervalued, I would say, in some cases. It depends on the champion, right?
Yes.
So you have good users and bad users of that Cloud Soul.
And you don't want Volibear to have a Cloud Soul.
You don't want Volibear to be able to run more quickly after he ultimates. You don't want Jax to be able to run more quickly. And let's see if the
They see you! Kill him now! And so getting in there, I mean, you can... Oh, wow, a ton of damage onto that ADC, but luckily... Still able to burst him down.
Again, that item coming in clutch and saving him, that shield was what made him live with just under 200 life. So,
and he's life stealing back up now. He says, I'm gonna take these raptors. Nom nom nom, chickens for dinner.
So it actually does give you extra life steal for several seconds after the shield procs.
Volibear's dancing.
And we have another trap.
And he's just waiting, and now he's running around. But yeah, they were... Yeah.
And this is one of those examples where as the blue team, it can actually be pretty hard to gauge how behind you are because you feel pretty good, right? You see on the scoreboard, oh, it's 14 to 15. Oh, we have.
And I have these many Drakes.
Yeah, but if you look at the objectives on the map, look how many towers are down. And you can see that the CS is so different. So there's a very deceptively large lead on the Hilliard side, especially as we talked about with those shutdowns going over. So this is the case where now Hilliard really needs to protect that Aphelios, really needs to protect that shutdown from the Aphelios and the Zyra going back over to the carries on the enemy team. Because
you don't want to give over 850 shutdown gold between that bot lane. And like, wow, and blue team, like you said, blue team thinking they're more ahead than they are, starting up this Baron, there's vision on it, they didn't even put a pink. We put a pink now. I mean, that's just one of those things where you don't want to do that.
You have to do your due diligence to do Baron, right? You can't just walk in there, but we have a flank coming in.
Echo coming in for the flank and hopping back out. Meanwhile, Kane getting in there. Huge! Yumi trying to... But it's too late, even though that root goes down. They've already killed everybody except for the Jax, and now they're like, well, now we gotta go to Baron. Okay.
A beautiful observer shout out to the Aphelios for that ultimate there. You just saw the entire team melt off of that knock-up into Aphelios combo, so beautifully done with the bait on the Echo. It looked a little scary at first, but you have to keep in mind he has that get out of jail free card with his ultimate, so he baits in the team. And he says, hey, here's
a free. You guys can finish that ward. You guys can get that ward. You can get it. Thank you, Kane. So And that speaking of wards, that's the other thing is when they started this Baron on the blue side, it's not like they had complete vision control of everything. So then when they retreated into their jungle, I mean, there just wasn't complete control. And the observers shout out to the shrooms also now littering the jungle. And like we talked about before the game started about Teemo, those late game shrooms can just like absolutely be brutal and set apart the team fight before it starts. I feel like this is like guess what Cam's thinking when he zooms in on someone. So what was
Cam's
he thinking with the
thinking,
Cho'Gath?
Cho'Gath is standing here. I am a 1/7 Cho'Gath. I'm sad.
Oh, and you
Yeah.
know that happens.
Another shout out to the new items. So the Aphelios also in that team fight, like we said, he's a very complicated champion, but he had the blue gun, which basically means he does a lot of damage to a lot of people. He also had the new and improved Runon's Hurricane, which got its bolts buffed in the later game. So not only did the ultimate do a ton of AoE, but so did that item, and that's why we saw their entire team die. We might have another catch here though.
From Triss, but she's getting collapsed on. Gorf's gonna pick that one up nice and easily, and then supportal combat there goes in favor of
And
Zyra.
blue team has great steal here. They do have a Cho'Gath, but they know what's going on.
That's true, but you can't steal it if we don't start it and we just kill you first, and everyone
Oh my goodness.
melted off because they can see it. Thank you. Yes,
Shout out.
The importance of vision, guys. So important. And I don't know, are sweepers not a thing anymore, babe? Like, you sweep the brush before you all stand there. If
Sweepers
you're
are
gonna stand
definitely
there.
a thing, and this is
Yeah.
one of those. This is one of those great learning moments for the blue team if they review this
Yep,
VOD, where
yep.
they can see, looking back, wait, they had vision of Baron. Wait, they had vision of our solo contest,
You
because
got to
if they
sweep if
didn't
you're gonna
have,
stand there.
exactly, if they didn't have the vision there on the soul, you have a Cho'Gath, you have a Volibear, you have a great steal combination. But now look, your base is in shambles.
Especially, yeah, and now they're breaking the base now, and now knock, knock, knock. That's us getting, you know, 2 turrets and an inhib. Especially when you're playing against a team that has the ability to root you and stun you and things like that. You do not want to clump up and think you're invisible when you're not. I mean, that's just very dangerous. They knew that they were coming because they saw their bot lane get killed. Also, does Tristana have boots? Boots are still a thing, right? She seems to be walking very slowly, but I know that Yuumi makes you go fast, so I didn't know if that's a choice.
If I had to guess, this Tristana is a little bit of a newer player and doesn't know what items to build, so you know, no problem there. It happens.
Totally fine.
It's very complicated. So she
Hey,
did not
let's face it.
Yeah,
I
she
only
did not
build the
build a
items you
mythic
tell me
item.
to.
She did not build a mythic item, and she started with an attack speed item, which is very suboptimal in ADCs because of the way the scaling works. So definitely, again, one of the things. Oh my gosh, that damage.
Again, catching out this Cho'Gath. Now, maybe they were using that word to bait him in. I don't know, but either way, he goes down to that 2v1. And yeah, I will say, especially with all the changes in the items, it's very hard to know, very hard to keep up.
And this just happened, so the audience knows, like, this was very recent. It just happened on Wednesday, so the players.
Echo trying to 2v1, getting the flash. Getting the heal out. Yuumi goes down mid alt. Triss goes down mid Yuumi alt, and Echo chasing down the kitty.
Oh, maybe.
Jack's jumping in, getting the flash out of Dwarf, but that heal, like you talked about, will they be able to? Oh my gosh, that is a huge shutdown going the way of the Jacks. But will they be able to at least get it back on him? Oh my gosh! Oh god, huge 10-3 Jacks with these huge things. But yes, the shrooms will deter the Volibear. Okay.
Volibear's like, that must be all of them, right?
No, but wow, that Jax is terrifying. You talk about nightmares.
That's exactly what you don't want to see coming from the Hilliard side here, because he is their carry, right? And split pushers are incredibly difficult to deal with. Yep. Getting, what was that, 1,450 gold off of those 2 shutdowns total onto an already
that's like an item.
Carry. That's a solid, you know, third to half of an item there. So
okay, for support, that's like an item.
So he is going to be a very, very hard person to answer in these side lanes. Now it's just a matter of how they play around the pressure that he could generate, because you can't just have only one person pushing up, because then you can just get collapsed on.
Person sweeping, I was gonna say, I need vision's not just about how much you put down, it's how much you deny as well. So That's really good. Yumi taking a chunk out there and hopping on the Jax. If I would do that. If I was the Yumi, I would, no offense, ditch my ABC at this point and just completely go around with the carry, who is the
Part of
Jax.
Yumi's kit is recognizing who the carry is at different points in the game and recognizing what the carries are doing at different points in the game. So
And then be carried by the carry. Get it? Because she's on them and they're carrying her, kind of.
I do. I understand.
Yes. That was funny. Thank you. There you go. There you go. Laughing at me explaining it, but I'll take it. I'll take it. So yeah, she has attached herself to that
Yep.
Jax now, and that's what needs to happen.
Yep, and we do see the Baron coming up at this point and a 12,000 gold lead for Hilliard, so it's a really, really hard situation to be in. The Jax does have TP, so they can maybe get a contest off here, and it looks like Hilliard might go for the safer play here, setting up for the Drake or trying to get a pick.
Yeah, which is fair. Again, a little fight over this red buff, but I will say blue side has been winning a lot of these contesting smite fights and battles like that. So that is also a good thing for them if they can keep doing that and then keep, protecting their Jax and getting picks. I mean, that is a way that they can take control of this. Again, Hilliard in the driver's seat because they're, already onto the Nexus turrets.
Yep, already on to those Nexus turrets, and we were just getting a highlight of the vision control around this area. Look at that. It is
there's a sweeper coming out from the Jax.
Yep, the Jax knows that the vision is going to be important here, and we are.
Yep, getting that stun though on him is huge. He does have the Yumi now. We're careful. We don't want to see that. I don't know why we didn't see that. That was a perfect place for it.
Yep, the Jax just can't find a way in.
Yeah, and I get that, and she probably wants to protect him. Volley Bear, huge boy, but flashing in, getting him. Wait, no, he did. Oh, well, good for him. That is nice. Is that so? That's huge for them.
Well, a big
and then Jax probably killing this Echo. Another shutdown going his way. I mean, we have to be careful as Hilliard. Guys, stop! Stop it! Do not, try to go in by yourself against this Jax. I don't even know if we want this in 3v2. I don't know if we want this. Yumi still has her ult. She didn't use it. You better get him down. Come on. Nope. This is bad. Let's kill him. Let's kill him. I'm not watching this. Peter, you cast. I can't watch. You go. You go.
Oh, no. That is a disaster.
I don't want to.
For Hilliard, another 1,800 gold off of the shutdowns into 2 more kills for the Jax, and that is the power of the Yumi along with the Death's Dance that we just had highlighted by Hansifer, and we really need some healing reduction on the side of the red team, because this is a losable game. It looks like we might have had another internet issue, though. It looks like he's back in, though. So
if we cannot definitely secure the Drakes, which is fine. I've lost many a smite fight in my very small jungle thing of New Jungle, but if not, you just need to play around that, and you need to delete the Volley Bear before you get in a position where he can outsmite someone, and that's completely fine. Or, delete the Cho'Gath, which we had done. But that Jax, you cannot trickle in. You shouldn't even try the 3v2 with the Yumi there. He's so far ahead. He's 14 for 214 CS, higher than anyone.
If we could get a look at the gold from our observer here, I think it's the X hotkey. We can see that he is actually massively ahead of every single other player in the game. He has 17,000 gold on his character. The next closest is 4,000 down on the Echo. So even though this team looks like they are very far behind, yes, that Jax is so far ahead of everyone on the map and has the best champion in League of Legends at buffing hyper carries, the Yumi. So this is a very losable game, even though it may look like Hilliard is quite ahead.
We had said the same thing, previously for the blue side, that they still have things they could do, and the things that have happened are exactly what we said can't happen. They're winning the smite fights, and this Jax is absolutely huge. I mean, he's been having his Wheaties, drinking his protein, and going to the gym. He is swole. Is that a right use of that?
Use it there,
Okay, cool. So we have got to be careful. I mean, this is completely winnable for Hilliard. We're still like 10,000 gold almost above, but we can lose that if we do not play intelligently. And so, vision, keeping control of the vision, keeping control of what your objective is, and calling out in team fights. So don't get caught out here with the fast Yumi Zumi. Like, you do not want
great
this.
route.
You do not want this. Great ult, but you're gonna die. You don't want it. You want to back out. Peace, 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 peace. Oh, I can't watch.
Man, he is at the point where he can just 1v5, and again, we need healing reduction. We finally got it from the Zyra, but we need it on the Aphelios too, and we might have a split push threat here that stops them from, yep. And we get
now he's gonna die unless he can get out. They're on Baron.
Kane's back up. We have Bubble Puppy here. This is gonna be close.
Oh, is he gonna go down to the Baron? Come on, Baron. Come on, Baron. Your side. Okay.
So we did get a kill on the bottom side on the Echo there as he tried to split, but him splitting did give the pressure they needed to draw the Jax back to base and stop the Baron, so definitely worth there. And this is where you need to be very careful about who is on the map. So it's not just about numbers advantages anymore, it's about where is Jax.
Yes.
We can fight if he's not there. If he is there, we need to be very cautious. So he's going into split push mode. He is saying, who's going to come and stop me? And he has teleport. So you have to be very, very careful about where you're getting picks, where your vision is, where those teleports are coming in from, because if not, he's going to take the entire game on the spot side of the map.
What they say, like, what is that, 1v9 or whatever?
Yep. He is in 1v9 status right now. We can call it 2v8. You know, you have to shout out the Yumi for being able to attach and buff him up.
Yeah, but, I'll give it.
With the Cloud Soul coming here, we are going to have the Elder Drake spawning fairly soon as well.
Oh, I can't. Guys, please stop. Please, you've got to... Because we have to keep in mind, too, he's a fast boy, because he can jump and close that distance. I mean, this really could get out of our control. That's also another shutdown going over.
If they want it, that's going to be Baron. You know, they might run down for the Elder. They might try and take both, honestly. They might have the Jax and the Yumi solo this Baron, or duo this Baron. And they might go down to the Elder Drake as well as it's spawning, but it looks like they're just going to go for that one objective. We might have the Shrooms kill the Trist. It's going to be close.
Oh,
there it is.
There we go. Finally doing some work there. I'll take it. I'll take it back as this gold lead disappears. Poor Hilliard. Come on, guys. Deep breath. Use your vision. Think about what you're doing.
Use your knowledge. You need to contest this.
You got this.
Right?
And do not, do not let it discourage you to the point where you don't play coherently. You have to almost like use it to pinpoint
and again,
what you're gonna do.
Highlighting here, we do have the Jax at 21,500 gold. He is 7,000 gold as an individual champion ahead of the next highest member in this game. That is absurd. But we do also see that he is capped out on items. So he actually, I believe, sold his boots to get extra items. So he is fully capped out.
Sold his soul.
Yeah, so we do have, again, that good objective control on the blue side for securing this. So Hilliard can't even really start it with the Cho'Gath. He has that consume that does more damage than smite if you coordinate it. So going to see what they do here.
Yeah, I am curious. Dropping the Shrooms, Bubble Puppy trying to prepare if they come in. Right now,
Hilliard knows they're just waiting.
Guys, need to sweep that. We've been here before.
And they're
okay. There we go. There we go. Now they're gonna try to use the blast cone.
Yeah, we might see them just come in. They do have the Drake control worded, so they know that Hilliard's not doing anything right now. So we just have a little bit of a Rift standoff.
Yeah, because if they go around the back, they're gonna blast cone in, and then all these Shrooms that they have out aren't gonna do much. So, okay, this is like an old-fashioned Western standoff.
They are staying in the safety of their minefield. That is their current plan.
Just
trying to, and we have Volibear checking, knowing that they are there. And again, this control word in the back of the pit, they are just waiting for them to come and clear it so they can go in. But it looks like the minions are the ones doing the work right now because the champions are chilling.
That's true, but minions are all
careful, an actual bird. They might jump in on you.
Yeah, careful, birdie, fly away. Now they're trying to pull out the Drake.
Oh, they're just trying to run away from it and disengage, or maybe they do.
Oh, I thought they were trying to pull it out.
No,
they're pulling it out. And they're saying, well, if you guys are gonna wait, oh, but he resets, so they feel so bad.
Yeah, I think they were actually just trying to run away with some indecision there.
But you know what? This does show me that Hilliard at least knows they have to be more cautious. Okay, last one wasn't. Joe misses it. I know it's
But they can do it.
Hilliard needs to come in. This could be an actual smite fight. We have the perfect Yumi ult. I saw that one was there. Who got it? Blue team. Man, he is on point with those. Jax is deleting everyone. Oh my gosh, can he make it? Bubble Puppy flashing out and dying. You do not want this. But maybe you do. I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
I don't think you do.
I don't don't think he does. Get
Man,
out!
and
Run
that's
away!
the
Run
power of
away!
the Elder Drake with the hyper
Flash!
carry, right?
No! Oh my gosh. Well, he deserved a pentakill. In the sense of he's doing a lot of work. Good for you, Dr. Kurds. But especially with Hilliard not getting these objectives in these smite fights, is dangerous. I mean,
Going into an objective fight against a Cho'Gath is so hard because he
yeah,
can just execute it, right? And it was Volibear that secured it in the end in the chaos of that, but it's a 50-50, right? You know,
yeah,
if you're not going to be able to go for that objective against a weighted smite fight, then you need to do something else on the map. And
yeah.
now having the Jack still with this Elder buff for another couple minutes, it's going to be so hard to hold this off.
Yeah, this is terrifying. I'd be scared. And we don't have an exhaust on the Zyra, which is, I think, normal for her to go ignite, but,
Yeah,
you
normal for her
know,
to go ignite,
she's
and we still
pretty
don't have
scared.
that healing
Yeah.
reduction on Aphelios. You know, you do now have it on the Echo as well, so maybe they're saying that's good enough, but depending on who's fighting that Jax, he's just going to heal through everything. He now has so much durability that, you know, a 6-item Jax, not even with boots, he's so hard to deal with.
Yeah. Red side Hilliard knowing to be a little bit afraid, seeing that Jack's backing off.
And this is
How
good
does
for Hilliard.
scaling work?
This is good for Hilliard right now because they are basically wasting out the time that's left on that Elder Dragon buff, and the map is going into a reset state. And kind of referring back to what I was saying before, from now until the rest of the game, Hilliard is getting into a more advantageous
Yeah,
position
gold catch up for
because the
us.
Jax is done. He
Yep.
can no longer build items. He is level 18. He has sold his boots. He is capped out. So he's not going to get stronger. It's just going
But
to be a
we
play
will.
around the buffs. And Aphelios does scale extremely well. The Echo does scale extremely well. And the Tristana is still very behind. So
Yeah, and the only thing is we just have to be careful about not all jumping in and focusing.
exactly.
And especially if we do it around objectives, that then you leave the Cho'Gath and the Volibear to get the objective. I mean, it's just tough. So we maybe want to team fight later, but again, not with the Elder and
And we do
not
see that
until we
we do
zoom
see
up.
the Elder buff falling off of the Jax. So we have kind of gotten into a reset map state
Okay.
where gold is starting to mean less and less. You know, it's really going to be more about execution in these team fights. And can you focus down that Jax quickly enough to where the Yuumi can't keep him alive through the bleed? So the Death Stance item he has keeps him alive so well. And now with the new items, if he gets a kill, it takes away that bleed. So you really need to focus him down and make sure that he gets deleted off the map and you don't just let him get healed back up.
Gold is basically all on the Jax. I mean, 25 kills, 700 gold shutdown, but it's more distributed on Hilliard's side. So as long as they properly do this,
And they're just waiting on this Baron here.
yep. Baron spawn, Baron spawn. Gotta love a good Baron spawn.
And here it comes. They're gonna rush
They're
it
trying to
down.
do it on spawn.
Might just go for the steal here. I don't know if they're actually gonna commit.
Pretty early, Kane. Careful, no bad. Okay,
Ooh.
now careful, guys. You don't want this. I don't think you want this.
Oh,
Okay, Echo doing Echo things. Echo doing Echo things. Are they gonna try to flash in for the steal?
just maybe Zyra going for the steal here. Yep, that's all they were going
Okay.
for. They got the trade back on the Tristana with the safe ult from the Echo.
Yeah, and that was safe. That was well done. Let's see if the shroom gets Cho.
I don't think it will. No, he's a very tanky Cho at this point in the game.
It does stop his back though, which is always satisfying. Anytime you can stop someone's back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, always the little victories are what we're counting at
Yep,
this
the
point.
little victories. It's true.
Hmm.
Also,
And
can you appreciate how weird of a champion Shogath is?
he is, you know, Void Beasts do tend to evolve differently down there. It's a very different place. Um, but we do want to also look at the Cho'Gath's farm as well. So, you know, we did talk a lot about the gold on the Jack specifically, but if we look at all the other lanes, the differentials are still massive. The Echo is ahead 6k gold.
Yep.
The Gorf on the Aphelios is, you know, 5k gold up, and as a support, Zyra's up 1.7k, which for a support is a huge differential. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And I
on
mean
the
that makes sense
carries,
with you, me too. You know, but
Absolutely. On the carries, it really is a one-man show for the Jacks. So if they
Yep.
can eliminate him from that fight, they can absolutely take this game.
One man show or one man show?
I mean, it would be a one-man
If
show
it
if
was show, but it's
Cho was
Jax.
the, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Fair, fair.
All right, and this is
They
a
say I
tense
see you
moment.
seeing me. Yeah, this is. I mean, blue side has nice control of this via vision. They're fake backing. I hope we're not lured into it.
Right now, they are just saying the elders are win condition. We are daring you to walk up to us.
I'm scared. I'm scared. It's so nerve-wracking.
Man, these late game scenarios are where League of Legends games are decided. It is so nerve-wracking when you know that death timers are so long. These buffs are so big. What are we gonna do right now? Let's see.
I mean, that Drake's going down pretty quickly. If we're gonna try to stop it, we gotta try going on into it, and Blue starts to flame it. It's a great ult from Yumi. The dome melted. That might be game.
Oh my goodness. And they just got deleted after the Elder went down, and I think that is going to be game. These death timers are long.
Ooh, that is brutal. We'll see. They might try to play softer, but they also have the Baron buff. That looks like game, folks. What? Yeah. Wow. I mean, we saw it happening. Part of that is just in laning phase, the Jax got huge, and then we weren't able to properly shut it down, you know, and you win some, you lose some. There were some really great plays from both sides. But yeah, that, whew, I hate to see that. You hate to see that happen.
Yep, and definitely one of those games to review and learn a lot from. So we'll see what happens in game
Absolutely.
2.
Oh yeah, do we have another game?
We have another game.
I think we're gonna probably ban Jax. All right. Well, we will see you guys for the next game. And again, a huge shout out to Hansifer and hopefully Hilliard coming back for the revenge.